Matt Miller. I'm the Executive Director of the Institute for Justice, Texas chapter here in Austin. We're a national nonprofit, public interest law firm that fights for the constitutional rights of individuals across the country and across Texas. We're here today to discuss a case that we filed this morning against the state of Texas on behalf of the entrepreneurs that you see here behind me. In a moment, I will introduce Wesley Hoddett, lead attorney on this case, who will speak, and then you will also have a chance to hear from one of our entrepreneurial clients. We're here to discuss eyebrow threading, which is an ancient art that Wesley will describe to you in a moment. When we're finished with our prepared remarks, we will have a demonstration of eyebrow threading over here to the side, in case you'd like that for your video. It's my pleasure then to introduce Wesley Hoddett, lead attorney in this case. Wesley?
Thank you. Again, my name is Wesley Hoddett. That's H-O-T-T-O-T. I'm with the Institute for Justice. We filed a lawsuit today on behalf of eyebrow threaders around the state who are being forced to go to beauty school and obtain irrelevant licenses. Now, obtaining these licenses would cost threaders between $7,000 and $22,000, but beauty schools in Texas don't teach eyebrow threading, and the cosmetology exam in Texas doesn't test eyebrow threading. The state can't constitutionally regulate something that it doesn't teach. It can't constitutionally regulate something that it doesn't test. This is no way for the government to act in difficult economic times. Now, eyebrow threading is a millenniums-old art. It's predominantly practiced in South Asia and the Middle East. Eyebrow threaders use nothing but a single strand of cotton thread, which they tightly wind and then form a lasso. That lasso is used to capture hair in its follicles and remove it. This is a safe practice. It doesn't involve chemicals, dyes, or sharp objects. It's unlike waxing in that it doesn't involve heat. The government can't constitutionally regulate something that is, as eyebrow threading is, demonstrably safe. I'm also the author of a report about the state of occupational regulation in Texas, which documents the explosive growth of these kind of irrelevant licenses. It's worth noting that in 1945, the state regulated only 43 different professions. Today, it regulates 514. This is making it hard, much, much harder than it needs to be an entrepreneur in Texas. Entrepreneurs shouldn't have to pay the government for the privilege of going into business. Entrepreneurs like my clients shouldn't have to get government permission to enter into a safe occupation. What the government is trying to do here is to shut eyebrow threading down, and they have no right to do that. This lawsuit is going to vindicate our clients' right to economic liberty. That is, the right to enter into a safe occupation free from unreasonable government interference. If I may now, I'm going to introduce the lead client on the case. His name is Patel. He's a threading entrepreneur here in Austin with businesses around the state. Thank you. Ash?
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming down here. Like Wesley mentioned, it's an ancient old technique that has been used for thousands of years in and around South Asia, and it's very safe, natural way to remove unwanted eyebrow hairs. And for state to regulate it like they regulate cosmetology, where various skills are taught, like coloring your hairs, cutting your hairs, that we don't do. Like Wesley said, it's just a simple cotton thread that is used to remove unwanted eyebrow hairs. And for that simple technique, for a person to go to school for about a year, invest up to $20,000, it just doesn't seem practical and right. And we hope that state would listen, see the common sense into the way they license, especially eyebrow threading. Thank you.
We're going to do a threading demonstration, if you'd like, and Almas is going to help with that. Yes, ma'am.
When did the state start requiring
Josh, if you will excuse me.
Sure, go ahead.
Well, it's worth noting that eyebrow threading isn't written into the state's laws or administrative rules about cosmetology. They haven't bothered to put it down on paper and warn anyone that they need licenses. Rather, in April of 2009, they started a concerted enforcement effort of handing out $2,000 fines to individual threaders and $5,000 fines to threading businesses. This is no way for the government to act, especially in difficult economic times. Starting in April of 2009 was a concerted enforcement effort to tell eyebrow threaders that the government believes they're practicing cosmetology. Now, it would have been much more helpful and fair if they'd bothered to write this into law, but in any event, they can't constitutionally regulate something that is safe. There has to be some threat to the public health or safety before the government can force an entrepreneur to get a license. This is an irrelevant license. It serves no purpose for consumers except to raise their prices and increase the profits of private beauty schools.
You said concerted enforcement effort. Do you know how many of those $2,000 or $5,000 fines have been handed out so far?
40 fines we count from an open records request to the government. Now, there may have been more. Please. I think we can set it on this stand. Let's try. What do you think?
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So you were saying how you had done an open records request.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what you came up with?
We did an open records request in June of 2009, and that revealed 40 citations to individual threaders and threading businesses around the state. Since then, they've continued with this enforcement effort, and I expect that there's been something on the order of another 30. We have no obligation to contact the government and ask them why they've decided that eyebrow threaders need licenses. We did submit an open records request and asked if they had any evidence of harm to the public or complaints from the public. And they have complaints from other threading businesses that want to protect themselves from competition, but they have no complaints that show any danger to Texans. Again, the government can't constitutionally regulate something for which there's no evidence of harm. Okay, we're going to do a little threading demonstration, and we're going to do it on meat. So, great. Great, thank you. Thanks a lot, everybody. And we're available to talk now with either clients or with me.